Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something a little different. This is a Gundam model, as you can see over here. This is Luca's Strike E with the IWSP pack. The Strike E is the Gundam that you see over here by itself. The IWSP pack is that big old backpack that you see over there, which is supposed to be the main attraction for this model kit, but for the time being we'll save that review for later. Here we have the instruction manual, and here's a quick look through the basic instructions. Little info about the Gundam itself, as this was released in early 2008. There are no English translation on the booklet about the actual description of the Gundam. The stickers or the labelings for the stickers are over here. A quick breakdown of which parts are going to be built in which order. The lists of parts that are included in this model kit. The instructions to building the body unit, the head unit, the arm unit, and you can also see it off to the side over here. More arm units, leg units, a color coded page with different animated poses and how it could look like by the time you finish the model kit. More instructions on the waist unit along with the weapons. More weapon buildings. The shield itself, and then the main attraction, the IWSP pack, which again has a quick description of what's going on here, along with the instructions for building it. And lastly, there's a action base to post the model kit on, and more guides for labeling the stickers. And the back end of the booklet is the picture that you see over here for our model kits. We're going to start with some visual differences between the instruction manual versus the final product that was built. Instead of the yellow that is sticking out on the shoulder, the V-fin, along with the chest vent, I've changed those colors into red to match the overall color scheme of the entire model. And the little white spots over here I've painted in red so to break up some of the white overall in the leg section. Zooming in into the instructions, we can see that there are little details that are panel lined along each of the pieces. Over here, along the arms, along the shoulder pads, even on the face over here, the face vents. Now, as the model kit comes, it does not come with all of these detailed embedded in it. What I've done is take a Gundam marker and fill those little crevices with the panel line that you see over here, along on the arms, throughout the little vents on the side, all the way through down to the leg area. And I'll show you guys in more detail in a little bit. But just so you know, out of the box, these little lines, you'll have to find a marker or a Sharpie to fill them in order to create a look that is similar to the ones that you see on the instruction manual. Here we have a more zoomed in look at the head area of the Gundam. As you can see, there are a little bit of silver shining through on the Vulcan gun that is mounted on the head. The eyes, although slightly dulled in color, are showing a little bit of yellow, and the head camera, which is supposed to be a clearer piece, it's got a little bit of red to sort of match the overall aesthetic of the model kit. If we turn this around, the back of the head has been panel lined over here along with the two little panels in the back, and the back camera, instead of putting on the stickers, it's again been panel lined here. On to the shoulder pieces. Both shoulders are identical, and like I mentioned earlier, these little pieces have been panel lined. The little circle here on the inner frame has also been panel lined here and here. It might not get picked up by the camera, but they are panel lined. The triangles up on the shoulder has been replaced with a red instead of the yellow that it came in. Onto the side of the shoulder, and the camera might not pick this up, but there are vents on the side of the shoulder that has also been panel lined as well. The back of the shoulder is identical to the front. So again, the little panel lines over here, here, and here, and more vents over off to this side of the shoulder. Moving on to the chest unit, compared to the panel line that were done onto the arms, a red panel line has been added throughout the navy blue pieces of the chest unit. That way it will show up, because the black panel line usually get washed out, or it just doesn't show up well on darker colors like the navy blue that you see here. And as we turn this around, the same can be said about the back of the chest unit. So more red has been added to the navy blue, and you can see some of them aren't exactly cleaned up very well, which can be done later on. On the lower part of the body, there are more vents, which has been panel lined in the black again, so that it contrasts the red that is already present. Turning this back around, zooming out. Here you see sort of the top half of the Gundam model close up. Moving on to the arms, you can see more panel linings are done over here. The two little crevices here on each arm. And then moving on to the back of the Gundam. You can see the shoulder piece, the elbow piece are also panel lined, and extra details off to the side that you won't be able to see are the little circles here, which again are panel lined throughout. Moving into the hips for the Gundam, more panel lines are done on the venting areas, that little crevices over here, and the lower ventings over here. As for the back of the hips, same idea. Little more panel linings throughout. There are ventings underneath the red over here. And this little hole in the back is for plugging into a action base so it can stand up and do action poses without it falling over. As for the legs, again, they are identical on both sides. A little bit of panel lining are done on the knees and ankles, along with sort of like the toe area that you see here and here. Onto the back of the legs. You can see that there are panel lines that run through over here, as well as the inside of the back thrusters that you see here. Onto the side view, there's not much to mention except for the ankle guards with panel lining over here and here. And also more panel lines done on the bottom of the feet. Lastly, a 360 spin for the Gundam model. As you can see, the legs are not the most stable. And that is to be expected of a model kit that is a little bit on the old side at this point. So there you are. Here is the Gundam Strike E with the IWSP, but not the IWSP. And this has been a quick description of the Strike E with the different panel linings and the finished Gundam model. So until next time.